What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions about creatine. So first and foremost, people are going to be wondering, what difference is it going to make if I add creatine to my regimen? Like, how much of a difference is it going to make? Is it like a make or break type of thing? And the answer to that is no. I mean, like, if your diet is already on point and your workout regimen is on point, then that's going to be your bread and butter. Creatine is going to be one of those things where you add it in and it's going to make like maybe like a 1 to like 3% difference. So it's like it's enough of a difference to where, you might as well add it in because it's pretty cheap. Like, it's not really expensive. So you can get like months and months worth for like a few dozen dollars, right? So it's like, it's not like you're going to be spending, tons of money on it. But at the same time, like, if you didn't have it in your regimen, you wouldn't really notice a difference. So, in terms of like progress, right? Like, you could still make the same progress, but it will give you an edge here and there because, like, what does creatine really do? It just hydrates your muscles. Like, it helps your muscles retain water. So, that's of course going to be beneficial when you're in the gym. It helps with replenishing ATP production. So, potentially you could get more reps, which means you're going to be able to, make gains. But, at the end of the day, again, if your diet is on point, you're probably already getting enough creatine. Which brings me to another point, which is there are a certain segment of people who take creatine who are considered creatine non-responders. I think it's like about a third of people who take creatine are considered this. And basically, you could chalk that up to people who just don't get enough creatine in their diet already. So if you're already eating a lot of meat, you're probably going to already have a decent amount of creatine in your diet. So, like, if you add creatine to your regimen, you might notice a little bit of a difference, but it's not going to be like one of these make or break type of things. Whereas, like, if you are like a vegan or something like that, or like a vegetarian, and then you start taking creatine, you're probably going to notice a lot more of a difference. You see what I'm saying? So that's first and foremost. Like, don't expect like steroid like results from taking creatine. It's not a steroid. It just helps to hydrate your muscle, basically, right? So another frequently asked question, if I can talk, is going to be, well, how much should you take, right? A lot of people think they have to do this loading phase, right? There's this 20 grams a day regimen that people do for 1 to 2 weeks, where they take 20 grams of creatine per day for 1 to 2 weeks, and then they lower it down to 5 grams. And well, what's the point of this? The point of this is to saturate your muscles' creatine stores. So the only real reason that you would really need to do this would be if you have some sort of event coming up where you need to have saturated creatine stores, right? So, like, if you have like a sporting event, right, like a tournament or something, and you haven't already been taking creatine regularly, and then you just start out of the blue, let's say it's like in 1 week from now, then yeah, I mean, like, right now, if you really want to make sure that your creatine stores are saturated, then start taking 20 grams per day right now, and then by then you should be good, right? But if you're just going to start taking creatine as like a long-term regimen, there's not really a rush. And I mean, the difference in like outcome that creatine is going to create is, like I said, it's like a 1 to 3% difference. It's not going to be that drastic anyways. So, I mean, you might as well just start at the 5 gram dose per day. If you're like a little bit bigger, like if you're over 200 pounds, maybe you want to up that to like 10 grams, right? Or even 15 grams. Some people just take 20 grams per day as like a regimen because there's also a mental performance aspect to creatine where it's actually good for your brain. And it can also help with reducing stress on your brain during states of sleep deprivation. So it's not just for muscles. Creatine also has benefits to your brain. And to experience those benefits, you have to have at least 10 grams per day. So if you're interested in taking it for that reason, then yeah, I mean, go ahead and take 10 grams per day and you'll be golden. But you don't have to do this loading phase, right? People think that you have to. You don't have to. Eventually, if you just start taking 5 grams per day and keep doing that, eventually your muscle creatine stores are going to be saturated. So that's basically, you know that's all you really have to do. So there's that, and then there's another question that's frequently asked is what type? Like, there's different types of creatine. There's creatine monohydrate. There's creatine hydrochloride. I'm sure there's other ones too. So basically, creatine monohydrate is going to be your bread and butter. This is going to be the one that's been around for the longest amount of time. It's the most studied, and it's basically the most effective. I mean, they're all basically equal in effectiveness, but the top two are going to be creatine monohydrate and creatine hydrochloride. And the main difference is creatine hydrochloride you can take less of. It's a little bit finer, which makes it more easily absorbable in like water, easily absorbable in your system. But the results are going to be the same. And the reason that somebody would take hydrochloride as opposed to monohydrate is essentially to reduce bloating, because some people have that side effect when they take monohydrate where they get bloating. So to reduce that bloating effect, some people might decide that they want to take hydrochloride. But if you don't get that symptom, then you might as well just take monohydrate, because monohydrate, I believe, is cheaper. So why not just go the cheaper route if you're not getting that symptom, right? It doesn't really make sense. So don't spend more money if you don't have to, right? Especially on something that isn't going to make like a huge difference to begin with. But like I would say, all in all, like you might as well just include it in your regimen, because it's cheap and it could potentially have benefits to your brain. Like it could be neuroprotective, and it will ensure that your muscles stay hydrated. So all in all, it's something that you might as well just take if you don't have any sort of aversion to it for whatever reason. And yeah, so hopefully I was able to cover the bases with this. See if there's anything I'm thinking. Those are the main ones. How much of a difference is it going to make, right? What's the form that I should take? Should I do the loading phase? Um, you basically have all the knowledge you need now. So feel free to subscribe. I need a haircut. Have a good day. Bye.